And hello, everybody. It is Tom Chenault, and it is my little boy, Adrian Chenault, and it is the Legacy Leadership Show, one of my favorite shows on the planet because we've got Marc Accetta here. And I want you to know that you want to fasten your seatbelt because there's just nobody better at inspiring and leading network marketers than Marc Accetta. And he puts his money where his mouth is. He's been doing it forever. He graced the ANMP last year with one of the great speeches of all time, then went back and did another one. And it was produced so well because he brought his own production team to do that. And this year, the ANMP is on August something or another, like I'm in August, and in Dallas. So we got it on the ANMP website. It will be epic. You've got to go, and Marc will be there. And you should join the ANMP while you're at it. That's it for the sales pitch for at least 5 minutes. But hi, Adrian.
Hello, Dad.
Don't you love him?
I totally do. I've been looking forward to this show.
Cut of the same cloth. Smart guy, unbelievable integrity, just like you. What do you want to ask him?
I think I need to hone my performance skills before I could say that I'm cut out of the same cloth as Marc. But Marc, it is so good to have you back on the show, buddy. How are you doing today?
I'm doing absolutely fabulous, brother. Going and blowing like I'm in my 20s.
I just love to hear it, and I can feel that in your energy. And you don't ever seem to age. I don't know how you. That's a whole other topic. You know what I mean?
Wow. I don't want to tell you how beautiful his wife is. His wife makes him look like a bad start.
Oh,
it's just unbelievable. I was jealous of you.
Definitely outkicked my coverages.
Unbelievable. And your children are incredible.
Yeah.
And
thank you.
Everything about the whole Accetta clan is incredible. And finally, he has decided to take it to an entirely different level, launch his own brand. You guys get to go to a webinar with him, and you have got to do it. It will be insane. So, Marc, why did you do it? What's going on in the space? And why are you so absolutely pumped about network marketing right now?
Well, I love, you know what I mean, Tom, the one thing we know that the one thing that will never change is things always change. So the industry is definitely in a movement pattern, just like the world is right now. So, I know a lot of people are like, oh, it's changing. It's like, it's going away. It's like, it's never going to go away. It's going to get bigger and better. And there's going to be more opportunities for the people who pivot and know what they're doing. So I'm really excited. Like I said, I've been with one company or another forever, and I'm very blessed to have a network mark client right now that I do events with and train and coach with. However, outside of that, I have their blessings to just be able to really do my own brand. And it's weird for me, Tom, because I'm a live event guy. Like, we're online. I get online, but I'm a live event guy. But a lot of people don't want to do live events anymore. You know what I mean? It's easier to do them virtual. People don't want to get on planes the way they used to. So finally, people around me are done hitting me in the head with a hammer. And I'm finally like, all right, I'll be online. I'll do stuff online. I'd rather do it in person. We'll still do it in person, but I'll do it online. So it's been about a 6-month journey of putting together the right team and creating the right content and all that kind of good stuff. But I'm working like I'm in my 20s. Like, I'm putting 12, 14-hour days in to get everything. Because if I'm going to do it, I'm not just going to do it. I'm going to do it really well. So that's kind of where we're at. So it's been consuming for me. And what I'm doing is, like, everything I do will be phenomenal for network marketers, but it's not limited there. It's really for entrepreneurs, business owners, people in sales, people in real estate, insurance sales, any of that kind of good stuff. Anyone who wants to be a super high performer, bottom line.
That's awesome. And, I've always, when you talk about being a live event guy, what I really think about when I've been around you is you really create an experience and an environment that pulls people in, right? Through the storytelling, through the analogy, through whatever it may be. And as you look to make that move to online, of course, there's going to be some things, you've had some tricks up your sleeve, so to speak, that you can do in that live setting that maybe you can't do online, but I would wonder if, sometimes constraint is the mother of invention. How has that been for you, thinking about how to take those principles and apply them when you're doing it online?
Well, thank goodness the Lord works in mysterious ways. So, one of the main things I do is a view from the edge, which is with all the characters. And we normally do it in a theater, which is amazing. But in 2020, God made us all stay at home, so we couldn't get together in person. So that year, we shot the view like a movie or like a TV show.
Oh,
so
cool.
yeah, so we definitely, I'm very blessed to have amazing creative people around me. So I feel very good that we will be extraordinarily competitive with doing the best online events. Like I always wanted to do the best online events. Or, I'm sorry, the best live events. That was my thing. And I know there's other people who do great stuff, but like, I want to at least be in a conversation with the very best live events. So now we're just, doing that with the online events as well. We're trying to, put ourselves in a very elite category right from the get-go.
What's the name of that guy that does all? Monaco Perez? Is he still?
Monaco Perez. He's
I love him.
Dude,
no,
like best buddy. Yeah, like he's amazing. Yes, he's still 100% with me. He'll be a big part of everything I always do, especially live events. I won't do a live event without him.
He is such a class act.
So just cool as a cucumber under fire. And I love Monaco. So if you're watching Monaco, thank you. And I love seeing your name pop up, even just getting stuff together for this show. It's super cool.
Yep. No doubt. Yeah, he's irreplaceable, to say the very least.
Yeah. So everybody's freaked out. They're scared to death that their company's going to go out of business. They're scared to death that their company's going to get acquired. They're scared to death that their company's going to go affiliate marketing. And I keep saying, if you learn the skills, it doesn't make any difference. You can take over a country. And what you've done is proven that through the progression of your career. That's kind of the focus of what we've got to get these people to understand is they are not their company. Their company is their company. And that's what they got to build a foundation on, right?
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. I remember, and it's what I've always tried to teach leaders growing up. It's like, look, we're in this company and, I'm the guy that like, this is my company. If I'm in the company, I'm not looking at other companies because there's always going to be something about their grass that's going to be more attractive to mine. So I won't even look. If you don't go to the barber shop, you're definitely not going to get a haircut. I think what's going on in the industry right now is it's become like a thing to like look at other companies and like even tell your downline you're looking at other companies. To me, that's like, again, that's so backwards. Like if I was told if you put a little cyanide in the lake, you can't get it back. So I was told if you have faith size of mustard, you can move a mountain. If you have doubt the size of mustard, you can't do anything. So if you're deliberately putting doubt in your own people's minds by telling them you're looking around, maybe I'm too old school. I don't understand, but that to me is ridiculous. So if I'm in a company 100% all the way. I'm going to go down with the ship. But if the ship goes down, I'm going to get on a lifeboat and go somewhere else. And once I learn the skill, I can go anywhere. I mean, literally anywhere else. And not only can I go anywhere else, I'm going to be desired other places because of the ability of what I know how to do. So I think, I definitely want to build loyalty to the company, but I want to build loyalty to me. And the way you build, a lot of people try to demand loyalty. They almost rule with fear and intimidation. And that may work for now, but it ain't going to work forever. So if I build real loyalty by genuinely helping people, by building real relationships with them, and people are not stupid. They know when it's real and when it's not. You know what I mean? So if when they're going through a crisis outside the business, I'm conveniently too busy to be there, they get that. You know what I mean? The smart ones do anyway. So I just think whoever builds real relationships, regardless of what might happen, it's always going to be you and that key group of people. You're going to stick together.
I think that is so right on.
Well, let's talk about that a little deeper. Sorry to interrupt you. I watched you put together a band 10, 15, however many years ago it was,
Mhm.
where you literally got the best of the best in network marketing under one umbrella, and you guys just went out and took over the world and built a few million people in a network marketing company.
Yeah.
Nobody being the hero, everybody pulling together. I've never seen anything like that through Amway days or anything else, before or after. And I just, number one, want to acknowledge you for that. And that's kind of what it takes. You got to grab those leadership skills and hone them, right?
Yeah, I mean, for that scenario, Tom, that we were in, I think one of the things people need to understand is we started off without a lot of experienced networkers. And I think everyone's trying to go out and sign a free agent, if you will. They're trying to get the big money free agent. And that's not what we did. We started from scratch. We had some people with some experience. Most of the people either had no experience or they'd never hit it big. And we bought into a philosophy, and this is what I always tell people, like Bill Belichick, most people know that name. He coached the Patriots. They won 6 Super Bowls. What they don't really pay attention to is Bill Belichick coached the Cleveland Browns and got fired. And if you ask him the difference between one and the other, he said, look, I had the same exact philosophy, the same exact game plan. In Cleveland, the key lead players and the team didn't buy into it. In New England, they did. So when I went and we started World Ventures, we went to those people and they bought into the philosophy that instead of you building your own brand, doing your own deal, doing your own events, we're all going to do them together, and we're going to play team, and it's going to be unique and it's going to be different. We're going to check our egos at the door, but the long-term benefit of it is you don't have to like build a downline all day and then build a training company at night. You just build your downline and outsource it to me and the company, and we'll put together the events, and you'll speak at the events, but not every event, because I don't care if you're Tony Robbins. If people hear you every single event, they hear the same talk over and over and over again, the law of diminishing returns kicks in. But if you talk once or twice a year and you don't talk to your group, you talk to everybody, A, it's more fun for you, and B, your words carry so much weight. But then next event, someone else's words carry a lot of weight, and your team is constantly being motivated. So the players bought into it. We were able to pull it off and execute it. And it was magical, man. I love it. But not a lot of companies want to follow that game plan. And that's okay. You know, I mean, there's the Eagles won yesterday with the philosophy of play suffocating defense and run the ball. And they won. And that's a great philosophy. Other teams have won by throwing the ball and having an explosive offense. You can win different ways. What you can't do is try to merge 2 or 3 philosophies at once. You got to pick one and execute.
Wow.
That's I think that last truth is really powerful and profound, because there's so much sampling and dabbling and, you know, pulling together all this different stuff from, you know, that each of these individual leaders is trying to do it all on their own, and their vision gets, you know, sort of diluted. Nobody understands what's going on. They go and, you know, attempt to recreate their own version of the wheel, and just it gets further and further sort of from any sense of unity or consistency in the way things get built, right?
Yeah, and listen, I don't. If you're a leader and you're watching this, here's what I've experienced over 36 years. Whatever the company doesn't provide for the field leaders are going to fill the void, right? So if there's no really good opportunity presentation on a video, they're going to make their own. Whatever the company doesn't give, they're going to do their own. So if the company is doing a bunch of consistent, really good live events, most leaders will probably plug into it. But if they're not, they're going to fill the void and do their own event. So I don't at all blame people for doing that. But then, you know, if we have a company with 8 main leaders, we have 8 main events going on, and they're doing it different ways, and some are compliant and some are not very compliant. And, you know, it's not the same team camaraderie. But if we have all the main leaders doing the same basic philosophies and we do it all together at company events, you know, when we got to World Venture, we got to the end, you know, the company just did some bad things internally. And you know the deal. We didn't pay our top people for a month, right? We got everyone on a Zoom or whatever. I don't know if it was a Zoom back then, and say, hey, guys, we can't pay you this month. We can pay everyone else and we can pay you next month. We can't pay you this month. And I don't know of another company on earth where people would have been in that company 3 days later. It would have been a mass exodus. But our guys were like, okay, cool, let's go. And we kept it going for another 3 years. And I bring that up to say that's the culture that came from everyone being on the same page. We were all one big family, all one big team, and it wasn't like every man for himself and everyone's looking for the next deal and everyone's building relationships so they can flip this guy underneath them in the next deal. We were really bought in. This is what we're going to do for the rest of our lives. Unfortunately, it didn't work, but the culture came from the consistent being together and really having each other's back and really building together. So, doing it that way to me is amazing. I think if more companies did it that way, we'd see more companies flourish. But here's the God's honest truth. It's expensive, to do live events and do a bunch of them. It's expensive. And to get the leaders to buy into it, that's, now we go back to the Bill Belichick story I told you. So it's not for every company, but, if it's done the right way, the results are undeniable.
So here's the deal, everybody. It is expensive, but it's worth it. And I'll never forget, I am at the Kentucky Derby. Mark has been an idol of mine forever. You guys don't even know that. I mean, I would buy one of his pairs of tennis shoes, like used socks, anything. So he's at the Kentucky Derby and somebody tells me that. And so somehow I got lucky enough and he came down to my absolutely garbage seats. And I'll never forget, I go, where are you guys sitting? And he pointed to the greatest seats in the history of the Kentucky Derby and said, me and all my buddies are right up there. And I am telling you, making those people feel so wonderful is probably it is expensive, but that edification, that recognizing who pays you, that whole shooting match is where the rubber hits the road, especially in this profession, right, Mark?
Yeah, no doubt about it. I mean, you gotta take care of your people for sure. You know what I mean? Without a shadow of a doubt. And yeah, I mean, everyone's going to spend money. It's just that just like being an individual adult, like where do you see the value in spending money? Like for me, my weakness is, 3-star Michelin restaurant dinners. Like I sometimes I look at what I spend a year on food and it makes me sick, but other people would never do that, but they would have a car collection. Other people would never do. So for a company, like, where do you want to spend the money? You know what I mean? So, to me, again, I go back to live events. Online events to supplement them are great, but live events are where we have the meeting before the meeting after the meeting, the leadership meeting, grabbing a beer with the guy who's struggling right now, doing this, doing that, like that face-to-face culture, is just, to me, irreplaceable.
So that's why you have to join this webinar in a couple of days. And the entire goal of the webinar and the new Marc Accetta mission is what? What are you you're going to grab somebody that's brand new?
Yeah. So here's my thing. And it's like, you sit down, I'm working with these great business people. And of course they say, okay, who's your avatar? Who's the guy or the gal that you want to ideally work with? And I go, honestly, it's me. I was 27 years old. I was so frustrated. I was so passionate. I knew God had something big for me to do in my life, but I just couldn't find a path, and I got turned on to personal development. I got turned on. And what I realize now is this is going to be, it's actually the name of our webinar and it's going to be our slogan is you're born to win, born to win, born to win, but then programmed to lose. And most people don't realize that you've been born to win and then programmed to lose. School does it. Our parents do it. Society does it. So this is what I tell people, Tom. We've all seen the image of the little kitten that looks into the full-length mirror and sees back the reflection of a lion. It's like, oh, that's so amazing. Well, this was me at 27. I was a lion. Obviously, I was a lion because I've done lion things for many years. But I was a lion when I looked in the mirror. I saw the reflection of a kitten. And that's what I'm saying. People were born to win, then they're programmed to lose. So what I'm going to spend the rest of my life doing is showing people how to unprogram themselves. You know what I mean? It's almost like you get a phone and you have factory settings on it. Well, don't most people go and customize their phone and make it exactly like they want? Well, if you're going to customize your phone, why wouldn't you customize your life? But most people don't know they can customize their life. Most people don't know that the longer, Oxford said, the longer you look into a mirror, anybody, the longer a person looks into a mirror, the more dissatisfied with their appearance. What that tells you is we're looking, and this is the bottom line, we're looking for what's wrong with us. So, you know, Henry Ford, the man who thinks he can, the man who thinks he can are both right. So if you keep looking for what's wrong with you, you'll find it. But you're never going to win if you keep looking at what you do wrong. I do a lot of shit wrong. I do most things wrong, but I now focus on those few things that I do right. And I see myself as the powerful person I am. And bam, things have changed. So that's what we're going to be doing on the 19th. You know, you saw the flyer there. So I came across a video of Kobe Bryant. Yeah, I love Kobe Bryant, the Mamba mentality, you know, the get up at 4 a.m. You know, if people don't know him, like normal NBA players work out once every day all year long. The ones who want to be starters, badasses, they work out twice a day. Kobe worked out 4 times a day. And we look at his workout, it was like Tiger Woods's workout. So that to me is what is, it's not talent at that point, it's effort. So that's my thing, man. Like, this is the guy that Kobe Bryant inspired him to have that work ethic. And you may not have Kobe's talent, but you can have Kobe's work ethic. So we're going to interview the person that Kobe says is the guy who inspired him. And man, I just, every time I think about what we're going to be doing, it gives me chills because I go back to me at 27 years old. That's what I needed. I need someone to go, hey, wake up. You can do this too. You just have to work your ass off and you got to be committed. And it doesn't matter if you have the highest level of talent or a medium level of talent. If you put in effort above and beyond what anyone else is willing to do, if you become an outlier, like Malcolm Gladwell says, and put in the 10,000 hours, then anything is possible. So that's just the tip of the iceberg of what we're going to be doing. But we're going to launch it, as you can see, on Wednesday the 19th, and it's free. And I'm not selling anything. All we want to do is get people on there so we can truly inspire you. Because you know the thing, guys, everyone had a New Year's resolution, and a lot of people are starting to lose steam, even though we're in early February. So I want to refuel your gas tank and get you to really understand that you were born to win, regardless of what you may think. You know, it's the truth. I believe it with every fiber of my being. And once I got that, then I became unstoppable. But until I got that, everything stopped me.
That's so right on. And it's been really cool. You know, one of the things that has just amazed me is how much Kobe's legacy and just the mindset and his way of being and his way of doing continues to live on. And you know, his legend almost, you know, it feels like it only grows, right? In terms of
No doubt
what people understand about what set him apart so much. And that's something that's available to all of us. And, you know, I'll reflect on, there are just certain people and you get around them and there's like this intangible X factor about who they are, that it's not that they're the most charismatic person in the world or the, you know, whatever. There's no thing that you say, oh my gosh, this person just is far and away more talented or more gifted than anybody else around them. And yet they create these extraordinary results far above what you might think about them because of that work ethic, that mentality, that energy that they bring to the table. And that's available to anybody, right?
Yeah, I mean, well, Kobe goes on and you know, it's like, I can't give away my mystery guest, but he basically says, I didn't jump higher than other people. I didn't shoot better than other people. There were a lot of more physically talented guys, but nobody outworked me. Nobody. And see, that's the one thing I learned. Like, That's the one thing. I think it was Ray Lewis, the football player, says effort is between me and me. That's it.
Yeah.
But the bottom line is there's no reason not to give 100% effort. And here's the bottom line. Human nature, and it's another part of the central theme of everything I'm going to be sharing with people, human nature most of the time works against us. Most of us, I'm the other person, I'm a huge guy, and this is going to be a lot of my training, is Nick Saban from Alabama. And he says, look, when you come here and your career's over, there's going to be 5 ways people are going to grade your play when you are here. You're going to be bad player, average player, good player, great player, or elite player. And the problem is, and you guys know the book Good to Great, in the book Good to Great, it says good is the enemy of great. So most people, and this is definitely true in network markets, you don't have a boss. You're your own boss. So most people become the coolest boss they ever had. So when you get the good, you cash out your chips. You're like, hey, man, I'm making more than I ever made before. I don't need to sponsor people anymore. One of the things in network marketing drives me crazy is people build as many teams as the comp plan says you have to. So if you need 2 legs, they build 2. You need 3 legs, build 3. Why don't you build 27 legs? Why do you stop? Tom Cruise is still making movies. He didn't say, well, in order for me to get rich, I need to make 3 movies. He keeps going. And so does Robert De Niro, and so does Meryl Streep. If you love what you do, this is what I want to ask all network marketers, then why do you stop doing it? Because managing people is not the deal. The deal is sponsoring people. The deal is building people from the ground up. And if you would just do that over people in network marketing, here's the other thing. I'm sorry, I'm getting a little worked up. Everyone's rebuilding, always rebuilding. Well, you know what? If you never stop building, you would never have to rebuild. You just keep doing phase 1. You keep sponsoring new people. But in our business, a lot of people are like, oh, thank God I got that out of the way. Now I don't have to do it anymore. Now I can just manage my team. And that's why they're always in rebuilding mode. Think of a football team that said, you know what? We're not going to draft anyone for the next 10 years. We're just going to play with the guys we already have. That would be the most idiotic decision a general manager can make in the history of his life. So again, go back to the Nick Saban thing, bad, average, good. These people don't want to be coached. They don't want to be pushed. They want to do their own thing. These people, great and elite, they want to be pushed. They want to be coached hard. So that's what I want to do. I want to spend the rest of my working life working with these people. I don't give a shit how much talent they have, pardon my language. I want to know that they want to win, and they want to be great, and they want to be elite, and they want to live a legacy that everyone will say, you know what? When I think about that industry, that guy, that gal right there was one of the best to ever do it. And you can do it, even if you're not talented, if you'll put the effort in. If you'll be like Malcolm Gladwell says, you do the 10,000 hours to be a statistical outlier. So, again, I'm a little worked up, guys. I'm sorry. But, I love this industry, and I want to see it hit the heights it's never hit before. I want it to go to levels it's never gone to before, and I know it's possible.
We're so afraid they're going to quit that we almost inadvertently get them majoring on the minimums.
Oh.
And that is such insanity, instead of, like you said, Jim Collins and Good to Great, and pulling that grade out and say, good isn't good enough. Good's good for all the people watching you, but you've got great inside of you. Let's pull that out, right?
Yeah, no doubt. And it's like, again, talking about Nick Saban. We was on 60 Minutes years ago. The guy said to him, you're so hard on your players. And his response was, I don't think that's fair, because we have a standard around here, and all I'm asking players to do is live up to the standard. So again, what's your standard? Because here's my deal. Like when I went to a gym years ago to pick a personal trainer, I picked a guy who looked like I wanted to look. It amazes. Total side note. How many guys who are personal trainers who are fat or skinny and scrawny? That's weird. So I found someone who looked like I wanted to look like. I picked him, and then I told him to tell me what to do, and he pushed me. I mean, if he didn't push me, what did I want him for? So, he told me as we got to be friends, he goes, yeah, in the beginning, I don't push my clients too hard, because if I push them too hard, they get sore too fast. Then they cancel the rest of their sessions. And I'm like, no, you're thinking wrong, dude. Push people, because the people that are going to quit after they get sore are not the people you want to work with. You want the people, again, those the people over here, bad, average, and good. The great and elite people, you want to be at the end of your career, be able to point to 30 people and go, look how I transformed those people, because they were willing to do what it took. So again, I believe this. The number one reason why people don't push their downline is because they're afraid they're going to quit. You hit the nail on the head, Tom. That's what the thing is. But and correct me, you've been doing this as longer than me. Isn't the number one reason why people quit our business because they don't make enough money?
Yeah.
So what the hell? Push them. And if you push them too hard and they quit, oh well, but not pushing them to me is lying to them and coddling them and telling them you can make the kind of money you want without doing the work, which is flat out ridiculous. So again, I think the more honest we are, the more we push people, the more they'll respond to it. They'll make the kind of money they need to make. They stay in the game longer, and that's how they can become great at what we're doing.
And what about those people that get mad at you?
You know, again, I know, well, Nick Saban, how many of the players got mad at him? You know what I mean? It's like, again, this is another one of his quotes. Great top achievers, high achievers don't like mediocre people, and mediocre people don't like high achievers. So I'm not trying to be mean, but again, I want to be crystal clear, and I'm going to be crystal clear with my audience. If you're over here, I am not your guy, because I'm going to push your ass hard. So if you don't want to be pushed, by all means, stay in average land. Average, by the way, in the dictionary, one of the definitions is the highest degree of poor. So if you're average, you're phenomenal at being pathetic. You're the very best at being the worst. So again, average is a synonym for normal, right? So that's the problem. Unconsciously, everyone wants to be normal. No one wants to be abnormal. But Elon Musk is abnormal. Bill Gates is abnormal. Kobe Bryant is abnormal. Anyone that I can say your name and you know who they are, that shit is abnormal. So if you want to be normal, this is not, you're not going to be rich and successful and famous. You got to be willing to be abnormal. And that means you work harder, and people think you're crazy. You're going to another training. Oh my God, when is enough? You're making more money. When is enough? And on and on and on. So that's what I'm saying. Mediocre people, that's not who I'm trying to talk to. I want to talk to people who truly, without any BS, want to be great. So that's
what. So tell them exactly what this webinar, when it is. Is the time up there? Can I not?
Yeah,
see?
it is. It's Wednesday the 19th. I'm sorry, the time's not there. Shame on us. The time is at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on February 19th. So 9 p.m., 8 o'clock Central, 7% Mountain, 6% Pacific, or 6 p.m. Pacific Time. And yeah, we're excited to get a whole bunch of people on, because again, if you liked it all what I'm doing now, then get your teams on that, because that's going to be the name of the game. And if you're not good at pushing people, I have no problem pushing them for you. And if they get angry at me, then they're not getting angry at you.
I was just thinking that I'm going to send them in to make me look like a bottle of mud. Yeah, that'll be awesome. Bottle of mud. I don't even know what a bottle of mud is.
That's quite a, yeah, that's funny.
That's awesome.
That is so cool.
How about Larry Bird? Did you like Larry Bird? Did he have a work ethic?
Dude, I love Larry Bird. Are you kidding me?
Why?
Unbelievable. Yeah, no, I admire here's the thing, Tom. I don't care what profession it is. I admire someone who works their brains out. I remember Zig Ziglar telling the story of the guy who brought him his cereal in the morning, and he said, you know, Mr. Ziegler, the bananas didn't look good, so I cut up the strawberries for you. Like, just like anyone, what Martin Luther King talks about, the guy, I believe, who was sweeping the floor or whatever it was, or the shoe shine guy. It doesn't matter what you do, just put your heart into it, man. Like, be the best you can be at doing whatever it is you can do. And if people want to there's a difference between success and fulfillment. And it's like, how many people do we know who have the car? They have the Lamborghini, they have the house, but they're not fulfilled. On the other hand, people who put their heart and soul into what they're doing, doesn't matter what they're doing. At the end of the night, they put their head down. They know they did the best they could. They served other people. So that's really, to me, what it's all about, is just giving it a maximum effort.
I used to have a personal assistant, James Earl Moore. Remember him?
Yep.
this guy would sprint 20 feet. So it was hysterical.
Yeah,
oh my God. Everything he had, he would put, no offense, Michelle, put into bringing coffee across the room. And I just love the guy because he exemplified what it takes, which is all you got. You want to make $1 million. I don't even know who said it. If you want to make $1 million a year, all it takes is all you got. And that's what you're going to get, is access to that with what Marc's doing. You've got to go to the seminar. You have to.
Yeah, I'm excited. So, I mean, honestly, I know we're running out of time. Here's my thing, Tom. I've always been with one company only. And like I told you, I love that. I love being monogamous. This to me is an opportunity to really touch, like I said, anyone like I used to be, anyone who's in this phenomenal, amazing industry we're in that doesn't have someone to call them out, because that's without a doubt, the tone that you're getting from me is the tone I'm going to be doing until I'm done doing this. It's like, there's just, the bottom line is everyone, I love when young people say, do you have any good hacks for me? That's the expression. What's the hack? Here's the hack. There is no hack. You need to work your ass off. The people that say, oh, you only need to work 4 hours a week. Honestly, what drugs, what for real? Tiger Woods worked 4 hours a week. Kobe Bryant, again, I'm sorry. If you put in more hours and it's not just, Nick Saban says discipline, right? That's the key. Discipline is doing what you're supposed to do the way you're supposed to do it. You can't just go through the motions. And here's the bottom line. Doing it when you don't feel like doing it. Human nature. Why are most people not going to hit their New Year's resolution? Because they're going to go to the gym when they feel like it. Why don't most network marketers hit the goals they set in the beginning of the year? Because they work when they feel like it. No one does their goal when they only do it when they feel like it. You need to have discipline. Motivation wears off. Discipline lasts forever.
This show, you said, what is funny, everybody, is when this show started, he said, I am committed that this is going to be one of the best shows you guys have ever had. And I think he delivered, don't you?
100%.
Marc, we can't thank you enough for coming on. You are a beast, and the world, I'm going to make sure so many people are going to be on your webinar.
Thank you.
We're also having a huge event in August for the ANMP. We just announced the dates. Marc is going to be there live speaking. So you're going to see his webinars. You might never get a chance to see him until August, which is only 6 months away. But you guys, this is the guy you want to emulate. Not the ones telling you that you don't have to do anything to make all kinds of money. This is the guy I'm following. I have been for years. I just got a note from David Rutz. I don't know if you remember him. He owns David Allen Capital, a really big network marketing company.
Yeah.
Told me you were one of the best way back when, and you haven't missed a beat since then. Marc, thank you for coming on.
Oh, my pleasure, Tom. Thanks for giving me the platform. Anytime you guys ask, I'm going to be there. And I'm just telling you guys, ANMP, you really got to go. They put it together. All they want to do is serve the industry. I love going to it. It's as soon as I know the dates, I put it into my calendar because I just, love being associated with everyone who's on that team.
Well, I'm going to give everybody, hang on, telejokers. Who's our guest next week, Adrian?
We got Robert Hollis coming next week.
Robert Hollis.
Holy mackerel.
Robert and I were in the same business, our first business together. I love Robert Hollis. He is one of the most gifted, talented, brightest networkers we have, for sure.
And just takes a licking and keeps on ticking. The ANMP,
August
14th through 17th at the Westin Galleria Dallas Hotel. So ANMP 2025, all of you, go to that. God bless you, Marc Accetta. We love you.
Thank you, brother. Thank you so much.
See
Guys,
you
have
later,
a great evening.
You too.